Alrighty team, welcome. That time again, guys. Hope we're all doing well. Time to get this one on the road. Let's go, guys. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to all of you, both on YouTube and TikTok. Another London session. Let's see again what we can come up with today. Charts have been tricky to begin the week. Personally, haven't been on the charts a great deal from when I've been on charts. I've not taken a trade so far. So yesterday, the optimal move for me came before the stream. I would say it looks like we're at some decent levels for potential for trades on gold. Anyway, as per the usual, we will have a look at gold, GJ, and any other pairs as per request. So guys, you know the drill. YouTube, smash the like button. TikTok, smash that screen for me. If you have questions or charts or anything you'd like me to check or have a look at for you, I will do so once I have done the analysis. So let's begin, guys. Let's have a look at the news to start things here today. So as far as our session, we've got the Bank of Japan governor speaking. So that is scheduled for about 24 minutes from now, roughly. So we have something to keep an eye on for sure if we are trading the yen pair. So for that reason, trading GJ could be a little bit difficult prior to it. So I have to keep a little bit of an eye on that. Moving forward is big day, huge day with FOMC to come later into MY session. So gold could be up to its mischievous best prior to it, or it may not really do much at all. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, let's get cracking. Let's have a look at the analysis. And as per the usual, let's start it off by looking at the beast that is gold. All right, so starting the weekly time frame, and now we are mid part of the week. We are still obviously forming bearish. We do have that lower high, lower low scenario. So based off that, gives me the general, well, based off the high time frame anyway, general direction to the downside. So pullbacks in this candle, be looking to see what levels were formed within the candle. If we were to begin to pop above those previous levels of minor resistance, there's a good chance we could pull back deeper into the current candle, perhaps flip it back bullish. However, if we were to respect those levels of minor resistance, good chance that we could begin to break below support and back down towards the weekly candles low. Onto the daily, big rejection. That previous daily candle, current candle is almost retraced to the high of that candle. So let's mark in the high of that previous day's candle. We've got a lower low, lower high to the previous daily structure. We are technically bearish, retesting some previous support here to the left hand side. So if we were to begin to break above the high of the previous daily candle, we would have formed what I call a liquidity candle. So seeing we already have a lower high, lower low, if we were to continue bearish, there is not really much of a need for us to pull back up and break the high of that previous candle. Now, if we were to do so, let me turn down the music for those of you on YouTube. If we were to do so, there's a high probability that we could make a deeper pullback into the current weekly candle. Looking at it on the 4-hour, structure is bearish and will remain bearish at this point until we close above this swing point just here to the left, up that 3055. However, more recently we've formed some resistance at the current, the previous daily candle's high. So there we go. Could be a good opportunity to get involved in some buys above that level. As far as the most recent support, we're just going to mark in that 2982 to 2970 region on the 4 hours. So technically bearish at resistance. Now onto the on point 30 and 15 minute time frames. We can just adjust this. Pretty sure in a 15 minute, that is the highest point of the resistance as well. So what we have done, we're still bearish in structure. None of that's changed and won't change until above 3046 roughly, this swing point. We have within the current daily candle though, seeing we are forming bullish, we have recently formed support at this point on the chart at that 3000 level to 3300. So if we were to continue bullish, there is no real need for us to pop below that level. And if we were to begin to pop below it, we have clean trap to the left. We could almost make our way at that point down towards the daily low. So for me, sells below the support here at 3000, right on 3000, lines up the psychological round number 2. We did close below. pull back, retest, reject, that definitely be an option to sell it. Now let's go down to the 15-minute time frame, and what we can see is, so we're approaching that previous daily candle high just now. Above it, do have a bit of space to the upside. We've got about 48 pips roughly. So for me, seeing we have triggered in sells at this point, that's a good thing. I like the fact that we've already triggered in some sells at this point. So we've not just come from the most recent support, some 200 pips back at the resistance, we've tapped in, triggered in some sellers, closed back a bearish candle. If we were to wipe those sellers out now, begin to pop above the resistance here, the 30.2270, I would definitely be interested in looking for options to buy it. So I'll be against the actual bias. The bias is now, believe it or not, guys, the bias is technically bearish on gold. The way I personally see it, though, I still think it's very bullish, but the way I trade it, I actually have a bearish bias at the moment, but it doesn't mean I'm only considering the sells. So the buys above that 30.22 look like a good option. Would also consider the buys back at support if we did pull back towards the most recent support, only to respect it, retest that 3,000 sort of level, 3,200, 3,002, sorry, and begin to form support above it. I'd be looking for my options to take a buy back up towards the high as well. So that's the current range within the 4-hour range that we're trading in, from that 3,000 up to the current, the previous daily candles high. I mean, aside from that, any other options, I'd be looking for the sells from below the resistance. At this rate, current 15's closing bullish, we could begin to consolidate. So what I'm likely going to need to see, if I was to look for the sells, I haven't even set up the Zoom call, guys, so I can't annotate, is a strong bearish, preferably bearish engulfing this bullish candle on the next 15. And that could almost be enough to sell it, because it looks like we're about to close this candle bearish, albeit weak bearish. But off the back of the 15, if that was to present, it's something I would consider as an option to sell it. So definitely would consider the sells from the current level if it does present as well. So that is my opinion of gold. We are at a potential entry level. We need to now just simply wait for the right confirmation to in fact take that potential entry. So that is gold. Hopefully it made sense. If it did, make sure to smash that like button. And I will shortly, let me just set up the Zoom call so I can annotate. I'll shortly take a look at GJ for you guys. All right, let's move on. All right, so having a look at GJ, we're about to close this candle. Is there going to be an option on gold just now? No, it doesn't look like we're going to close above. Let me just set an alert just in case it rips in the last minute. All right, GJ starting once again weekly, and we are forming a very strong bearish candle. We are now back below that support here to the left. Likely, or a probable target on the higher time frame is that 184, 185 flat sort of region, which is the next support here on the weekly time frame. Once again, based off this candle, the way it's printing, I'm going to be looking to see within it what sort of levels we've got. If we begin to pull back, we want to see resistance respected and price reject to continue down. Could provide some options to sell it, or if we begin to pop above the resistance, could begin to make a deeper pullback within the current weekly candle. We could have some options to buy it. Daily structure is also bearish. Candle probabilities are bearish. However, seeing we do have lower high, lower low, if we were to continue now bearish, not much of a need for us to pop back up and break our own high. Haven't yet tapped into the support though. As I mentioned before on the weekly, we've got a little bit of margin on the weekly. Same level really here on the daily. So we still could potentially pull down. I feel a little bit more towards that 185 flat before we perhaps may bounce. Now onto the 4-hour time frame. Once again, bearish. Gonna be bearish across the board by the looks of it. Kind of, well, we're at a support here to the left hand side on the 4-hour, and just below it we've got another level. So that it's not really the ideal place to look for sells from, to be honest. Seeing we're at the 4-hour support, it kind of difficult selling into it. Below it, we do have some clean traffic to the left, so it's more probable. As far as resistance, just going to mark in this is the most recent, and we'll work our way down to the 30-minute time frame. All right, interesting here because the 30s actually flipped bullish. We have closed above the most recent swing point from the impulse to the downside, which was this consecutive candle pullback just here. So therefore, we're actually technically bullish on the 30-minute time frame. And if we, like I mentioned before, we have actually tapped into a level on the left-hand side, the 4-hour level. So based off that, it is potential. Well, it is a potential level to start looking for the buyers. With the 30 being bullish as well, I feel could get some options to buy it along with the sells. We've got definitely options in both directions. 30 minutes just closed back pretty strong bearish. Would have been nicer if it closed a little bit lower down, to be honest. Could there be some options to sell, GJ? What is the margin like below this support? Yeah, there is definitely enough. At this rate, what would like to see is this candle close back bullish and then wait for another 15 to close below the support, or potentially if this candle closed below the support, I mean, the 30 looks pretty good. I would have liked for it to close just a tad lower down below these bodies, which it has not done so. It's tapped into it, only to close back above. Current candles create a bit of a lower wick, and we're now bouncing back above the support here to the left. Do we have any margin above it? I don't think so. So we've got that in between. Yeah, okay, so for me, at this rate, the preference is to wait to see if price pulls back and reacts and rejects 187 flat. It's going off the weekly time frame again. If we were just to pull back within the current candle, form resistance, for me that would be a first potential level to get involved in some options to sell it in line with the weekly. Obviously, I'd be looking for the buys above it. Got some relatively clean traffic to the left, in line with the 30-minute structure. Also bouncing off the higher time frame support. So buys above that point there, and we'll have to just wait if there are to be some sells below that 186.20 sort of region. Just have to wait for a little bit more data to print, and further sells below the lows here 185.30. That is currently my opinion on GJ. Yeah, again, I would have preferred for it to close just a little bit lower down, because we now are, by the looks of it, respecting this current support in 15. I'm just going to need to chill a bit on GJ as well. Anyway, guys, hopefully that made sense. And let's have a good stream. Gold rejecting. Members, I will share with you a link just now. Alright, links being sent to you guys if you are interested, members. Alright, who we got here today? YouTube, Tony Gold, good day to you. Carl F, Lau, good morning. Same names, appreciate you guys. TikTok, how are we going, team? Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for sharing the live. Hey Jess, do I build financial models for my trade? I don't go into that much technicals, to be honest. I just look for my trade. I wait for my signals. Build financial models. I'm not even sure exactly what that's in reference to. I build or wait for the scenario to be ticked off. But I'm only in for a short time, so there's no need to fuss over it all that much. Once it's in, it would have ticked the box for it to be a trade. If it doesn't, if I'm not in, there's a reason why. So, and once it's in, I just have to let it do its thing and trust my plan, trust my analysis. Sammy, yeah, it's the same thing basically. It's pretty much the exact same. futures. Can't see why I wouldn't. I mean, this is gold spot, this is gold futures. Just a little bit of a price difference. And it's difference in timing as well, slight difference. But otherwise, candle patterns and things like that, price action signals, catalysts, it's the same thing, basically. I do coach a few actually to trade futures. Mysticalicious, yes, this is gold. It's what I think about sells on GU. I'll take a look in a second. J-Min B7 looking at sells and gold. You are, or me? I'm still preferring the buys, but I see potential for sells and we continue to reject. GU sells. GU sells without really looking too far until it looked best below this point here. Most recent support, well actually form support at this point here. Aside from that, if you were to wait for price to pop below 128, 137, it is a hell of a lot cleaner below that point. Not only that, the 30-minute structure is still bearish actually. Although you could almost argue that's a swing. Either way, the micro trend will be flipping back in line with the actual structure itself. Weekly is forming bearish. So I think general direction, if you're in a sell, looks pretty good. The only thing doesn't look great is the daily counter probabilities, which is bullish, but structure wise, it is definitely bearish. The 4-hour structure is also bearish. So yeah, I'd prefer to look for options to sell it. You're at some resistance here to the left, so probably not a bad level to be involved. Yeah, for me it'd be either sells from higher up again or below this 128.12 sort of region. Gold trying to pop up. Alright, so I need to patiently wait 6 minutes and 45 seconds for confirmation. I can't take the impulse entry. The way I trade, in accordance to my rules, it's not valid on the impulse entry. So, and here's the reason. Look at that, we come from well below the resistance. If you had a buy stop set, you're now stuck in 20 odd pip drawdown. So, hence why I just don't buy stop, sell stop when price is nowhere near level I want to get involved. I'd rather wait and see how price approaches. I have some strict rules in order to validate an impulse entry, a breakout in this case. It's actually technically not a breakout because it's in a downtrend. It's just an impulse entry if you're being really technical about it, but it's basically the same thing. Franco, morning to you. Rafael, morning to you. Discipline X key gold is heavy rejecting and forming top wicks. Potential sell options here. Yeah, potential as well, for sure. Keeps rejecting. I'm in agreement with that too. The alpha, which is better, self-teaching or paying to be... Look, everyone learns in different manners. What suits one person might not necessarily suit the next. I think it's always... I'm not just saying this because I have my own group, but I think it's always good to be part of a group just to bounce ideas off one another. Some people prefer that sort of setting, others don't. So, plenty of content out there. And there's also, yeah, groups and that as well. So, I've done both to get to where I am today. J-Min B7, yeah, that's another thing for sure. What I do is it's for me, I feel it's priced very fairly. You make some very valid points too, J-Min. How long is a piece of string? It's true. Yeah, which is quicker. Look, if you want to fast track things, possibly being coached, because you can ask those questions and have that sort of feedback directed to you. But again, it's each to their own. The alpha, the thing is, it takes a heap, it takes time. It really takes time to just to learn even the basics when it comes to trading. To be honest, I don't feel there is such thing as mastering trading. You can become very competent at it, which is, you know, I'm of the belief I'm very competent at trading. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. No way I'd have the balls to do it. No way I'd have the balls to also have my own team, my own group. And I've seen some fantastic results. Yeah, it's not for everyone though. But man, appreciate you. Welcome. Loretto, what method do I use? So it's my own. It's a concoction of what I learned from the last 8 years plus on the charts. So based off price action at predetermined levels that I've marked in, and using general overall bias as a preferred direction, but doesn't mean I have to be fixated on trading that direction, and just simply waiting for price action catalysts. And they've taken me, again, the best part of 8 years under different tuition, my own, a lot of it my own self-taught as well. It's all well and good to have someone guide you, but at the end of the day, you still need to decide what works best for you. Because everyone's got a different way of interpreting things as well. Loki, if it was easy, everyone would do it, and everyone, yeah, exactly, 100%. All right, gold popping back up. So let's see, we're gonna close above. Close above. I'm gonna look for a buy. Use this as alpha. Pay will definitely be fast to become profitable. Yeah, I think it does help, but again, it's just each their own. Buy or sell, looking for a potential buy, maybe. Just depends how it's counter close. J close M3. No, not A.C.T. Not all. Zach, double top. I mean, where's the double top though? It's tapped into this level multiple times, so I just gotta wait 1.5 minutes and see if I get the closure above. And there could be options for a limit order too here, because we are trending, not come from consolidation. So for the limit order to be valid, let's properly keep an eye on things, guys, so we don't miss out on anything. Has to close minimum 10 pips above. So 23.72. Looks like it's going to do it. Yesterday, guys, unbelievable for NY session. The team and I had a limit order. It got the green light, shot up on my MetaTrader. It just missed triggering in and it flew. It popped straight up into like a 30-40 pip profit within a second. Just missed being triggered in. So I'll be looking at potential entry. More, I prefer the limit order. Stop losses are going to be an issue again. The limit order would be set for 30.22.68. $30.22.68. Oh, not anymore. Forget it. Forget it. Close back below. That's a nasty, nasty pullback. Look at the last 30 seconds. As I was preparing to set an order, this is pulled back. Honestly, that sort of rejection, we could end up back at the support here where sales could potentially become an option moving forward. but I'm not buying it off the back of that rejection of the range above. Perhaps we'll just grab liquidity from above the daily high, above this resistance, the previous daily candle's high. That is probably the worst closure we could have got, could have asked for. All right, GJ. This is where we want closures below now. So now I just go up the time frame, and now I want to see the 30-minute close above. That's it. I'm not going to chase it just now. Hold on, let me have a look on the 5-minute for just a moment. Let me see what we've got here. Yeah, it's not crash hot. I'm waiting for the 30. It's much more stronger confirmation this rate. The way that rejected in the 15, I'd feel much happier about looking for the entry if it closed above in the 30. Direct trades, do use personal personal. For what? Should we buy or sell? I mean, it's very volatile at the moment. I'm looking for potential buys, but yeah, I'm waiting for the 30 now. Seeing the way the 15 rejected. Five is still just consolidating as well. I've got a very impulsive risky entry based on the 5-minute that's technically valid, but to buy upon continuation, stop loss, you'd have to use the current candle. Still some 60 pips. It's just best, it's better in my opinion to wait for the 30. So that's what I'm going to be doing. $911, looking to see if price closes above this resistance for a buy. I was looking at it on the 15, it rejected right at the end of the candle, which put me off. Now I'm waiting for the 30. If not, and we end up back at the support, we could be looking for sales below 30.15. We're now drawing some minor support, and that's where I could possibly look for options to sell it. Steady, sell now. What should I do with $300 on the market? Learn to trade before you risk it, to be honest. Don't do anything stupid. Trade, risk 1 or 2% of trade. Doesn't sound like fun, but at least you're practicing proper risk management. You'll have skin in the game for longer. Best way to learn is on live charts as well. Put it where the sun don't shine, could do that. Royal Influence gold is a solid market. It is for longer term things. Looks like it wants to break. Watch this thing break after rejecting on the 15. Yeah, the only way to get involved will be based back in the 5-minute, which isn't usually the way I trade. All good. EU looking very similar to GU at the moment. EU looks good for potential buys above the current day's high. Looks good for sells below the support here. Let's go to 15. Below support at 110.0094. Yeah, gold looks like it wants to absolutely fly. Not much I can do with that. Tapping into a target. It's been tricky this week, it really has. It's been very, very volatile. But it's all good. I know personally, don't stress it. Just chill. Options do present. So we've tapped into target. Makes it bloody difficult for me to buy it, in all honesty. Just tapping in the target, limit orders aren't valid. Yeah, for me, I now need to wait for it to pull back. Not gonna buy it from above the high because you're buying it into these wicks, into resistance. So I just need to let it do its thing, either push through or I'm not in it, let it critically move through these wicks, and look for, once again, clean pullback for options to buy it. And look, we'll see how, if it does reject these wicks, what sort of options we might get to sell it. GJ coming back down a bit, so who knows, GJ may provide. I want to start looking at perhaps GA as another option moving forward. Not that I like trading the Aussie dollar, but this one does move with quite a fair bit of volume and could provide some opportunities. Discipline execute, gold 30 minute, no bottom wick. Even if there is closure above, we will likely need a heavy pullback, very low wick. Gold 30 minute. It's got a, no, it does, it's got a small one. Not much of one, but nonetheless, it still has a very small wick. Alright, TikTok, what have I missed? Thank you to all new followers. CC Gold is golding, it definitely is. Is Ma the official? HSE Ma the official? What is your opinion by yourself? Wow. Right now, you're not in anything, you just need to chill. Red Ingle? Should I buy Bitcoin right now? Like, that's up to you, my friend. I can't give that sort of advice. Let me quickly look at it. And to me, it looks quite bearish. It has sold off again. I think yesterday's candle closed quite strong. It did. Yeah, for me, I'd be looking for options to sell it, to be honest. From anywhere below 78k roughly. Showing some potential signs of exhaustion, leaving a long wick into the resistance here to the left. Looking like it may close weak bullish based off that. It could be options to sell it moving forward upon rejection. The most clear entry point for me to sell at the moment would be below 76,215. And gold. It definitely is golding at the moment. All good. No stress. Let's keep an eye on GJ for a bit. Gorge, love what trading platforms you guys using? I'm using TradingView. It's a free website, free application. There are paid versions, but I don't feel we really need it. And MetaTrader is the terminal I use to execute and connect to my broker. But MetaTrader is just much more difficult to chart on. So for stream purposes, TradingView is a lot better. You can connect through your broker, depending on who your broker is, but you can connect to, some of them will connect to TradingView. Actually, mine does, but I like to use an EA toolkit to help manage my trades. It just means I don't have to, everything's set for me. I just have to basically move the horizontals as to where I want to get involved and where my stop loss TP and all that is, and it will do the rest for me. Shruba, hello to you. Zach, JAP moving. Yeah, we'll have a look in a second. Ilan, g'day to you, welcome again. What's your plan for today? Woke up, everything shit up. Yeah, I mean, was looking for gold buys. Just this 15, the way it rejected in the last 30 seconds of the candle was the rejection, put me off, and since made the move. So the chill and looking for pullback buys or sells. Below support here at 30.15. All right, before I do forget, let's look at GA. Let's have a look, guys. Going to be bullish in a weekly. Wow, massive uptrend. My Aussie just completely opposite the back of the trade wars. Say tariffs and all that, on especially hit on China. The Aussie dollar really does cop it. Daily is bullish, counter probability is bullish. But the weekly high, sorry, to the left, I don't think we've been that level for quite some time. Yeah, since 2015. This is a long time ago since we were last at this level. So it's going to likely be bullish across the board. We are rejecting a 4-hour resistance, so let's just mark in the highs. Could be a good level to start looking for options to sell it. What sort of catalyst do we or may we have at the moment? Just needing to zone up a little bit. All right. Don't yet have a structure flip on the 30. I mean, even if you were to consider this swing point, which is not a technical swing point, I don't have two candles closing the opposite direction to the trend. Although with this gap to the upside, maybe we can consider this a swing. That being said, we've not actually closed below lowest point. We've wicked below it, but not closed below it. So I'd still say we're bullish. Therefore, based on that, by the time we close below $13,847, would have had the structure flip back bearish. That could potentially signal a deeper pullback. To have some support here to the left though. So what I'd be looking for in GA is price to just bounce off the current support, wait for a signal within price action to look for the buys above this level. Buys above 214,116. And if we do remain range bound and keep rejecting the 4-hour resistance, seeing we've already rejected it twice. If we reject it again, I would also look for options to buy. We rejected it 3 times, so if we reject it for a 4th time, I'd also look for options to get involved in sells again. So the bias is definitely bullish, but like I always say to my guys, we've got to always, irrespective of the bias, ask ourselves, where are we on the charts? And if we're at our key level of resistance, kind of doesn't make much sense to buy it at that level, does it? So look for what type of catalyst you may need to see in order to sell it. And that is pretty much it. Closure blow to 13,847. Otherwise, rejection of the resistance yet again. Gold. Let's just shift this up, GA actually. Is Moomoo a good platform? Never heard of it, to be honest. If it looks like this, then it would likely do the trick. It'll likely be okay. Suruba, I'm freezing and waiting 2 days when gold go up to 31.70. It could happen, but who knows? All right, let's watch JJ for a bit. It's probably more likely at this stage. Bruce Soto. Nvidia at 108 by end of the week. I don't really look at stocks, to be honest, but let me have a look at that for you, seeing there's not much happening at the moment on the charts themselves. 108, okay, I'm not sure what makes you think that. Stocks are awkward for me because of all these market gaps. It makes it hard for me to determine structure. I mean, looking at that, I'd still kind of see it as bearish on the minor time frame, being the M30. I would say it probably needs to close above that point to flip it. Yeah, I look, at the moment, I can't see it, but anything could happen. It just definitely needs to pop above this 106 roughly, that sort of region. Looks to be quite bearish. Daily structure appears to be bearish. Counter probabilities with that big gap to the upside makes it tricky. Obviously, market is not open or in session. Yeah, I would not know what to do with it. That's one of the reasons why I refuse to trade stocks in that, because of these gaps. I just don't. Throws me off, completely throws me off. I actually had that question asked in the VIP today. What do we do with gaps? So I really, most of the time I won't trade it unless it is really, really clean, the price action prior to it, or after it. Yeah, it's just not, I don't know, difficult. Anyway, I'd be looking for it to pull back and reject for sells, or further sells below 92.02. And at that point there, it's likely going to come back down to the weekly low. Big sell off on this stock, in a big sell off. Not everything can go up forever, as we know. It's down 43% from its all-time high. All good. I've been keeping an eye on non-XRP, Ethereum, and that's also quite significantly down from its all-time high. 71% of a drop since, so a lot of so-called crypto gurus suggest that the altcoins tend to pull back that 70-80% in a bear market. Not saying anything, but maybe is at a decent level now for longer term entries. What else? 911, what are your conferences I should add to trading? what other confluences should I have to train with support and resistance? There's heaps, man. There's heaps. The best one's in engulfing candles. That's the best one. Preferably on a 30-minute time frame. But again, just watch, man. You'll learn a lot. Just you'll pick up on things when I go through it, when I'm looking for a sell from resistance or buy from support. It's AK US 30. That's another one I don't like because of the gaps. It looks very bearish, but he's at support weekly. Very bearish. Low high, low low. Daily structure is also very bearish. Below that previous, the current weekly low looks pretty good to the left. Current daily is low high, low low to the previous daily. Has not much of a need to pull back and break its own high. So let's see what's above that point. If it did begin to pull back and break its own high. Wow, is that support though? So perhaps a point where it could bounce. Maybe make a lower high or potentially pop up to create a higher high. Structure wise, it's not going to flip though for ages on the flyer. Got a long way off. Back up these at the highs here, 42, 360, 355, that sort of region. We're way off flipping any structure on a flyer. But the good thing is it is that support. So adding confluence to that, if the daily begun to break its own high, seeing it's got a lower low, lower high to the previous, then it could signal potential for a deeper pullback against the downtrend. 30-minute structure is also technically bearish. So for me, I just need to zone up a tad. Yeah, that's tapped in. All right. And I'd be looking for pullback sells. Now, I would consider structure flipping at this point. Oh. No, I wouldn't, because it needs to close above here first. Yeah, so forget it. Micro trend will be flipping though. So above the daily high, you've got a few confluences. You're bouncing off the higher time frame support, the 4-hour support. Again, if you were to continue bearish, there is not much of a need to pop up and break our own high. If we do so, it is the most recent resistance form within the day's candle. Do have some clean traffic to left, so if it did begin to pop above that point there, I feel there is more than enough confluence to still look for a potential buy from above 37,566. Aside from that, it did pop up only to reject that point around at 37.50. I'd be looking for options to sell back down. They're, in my opinion, your best options at the moment. Further sells below 36,480.5. Patiently wait for closure below it, even if it's on the 15. And that is my personal opinion of US 30.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Gold. Let's see. Fair bit of volume was to the upside, so we'll see what sort of catalyst. Drawing closer to the 30 closure, we'll see what sort of catalyst we may need to sell it. Not going to sell off the back of a 15-minute candle against, especially ascending candle's got a high, low, higher, high sort of previous, which was a very strong bullish candle. I won't have a catalyst, so I need to wait for the 30 for any potential sell options. Good thing is we have tapped into a level. This wick to the left, we could potentially pop up a little bit further though. Well, let's get out to you. Welcome. 84, thank you for sharing the live. So Seagull is retracing. Yep. Bash, light candles. Well, gaps have to be filled. Risky. Not always, but generally they do get filled. Yeah, I don't trade US 30 or stocks or anything like that. Let's check what volume. Volume, well, obviously there's movement in the markets. Suggests there is volume in the markets. Trading with Dougie and Q. Alright, so it looks quite bearish as well. So NAS, after bouncing, has also popped back down towards its most recent swing low. Weekly is forming bearish, lower high, lower low. Based off that, obviously, we are looking to the downside. Daily counter probabilities to the downside, similar to US 30. Does have that lower high, lower low. Wouldn't really have much of a need to pull back and break its own high. We are tapping into the actual candle which most recently formed support in the daily time frame. Bearish in structure, as is the 4 hour. Yep, has tapped into the support here as well, so good mark that in. So very similar to US 30 by the looks of things. Begins to break its own high, or bouncing off the 4 hour support. Let's see what catalyst, if any, on the 30. Look, you can almost argue it's flipping structure there. So there you go. Exact same setup as US 30. Very, very simple. What I'd be looking at. Can be on a 15, be on a 30. Wait for price to pull back and look for closure above 17,240, or look for rejection anywhere below it. Wait a price action catalyst. Aside from that, I'd be looking for continuation sells below the current weekly low, below 16,460. Very, very simple. Nothing much in between. Don't really see anything. It looks quite choppy by looks of things. A 15 potentially. I mean, if this 15 closed very weak bullish off the back of that, so if it pulled back quite significantly into that previous bearish candle, at least towards the 50% of that bearish candle, only to reject and close back near its low, but close weak bullish, what that's going to do is it's going to confirm a little bit of minor support back below the resistance here. If the new candle was to create a bit of an upper wick and begin to break below it, there's a good chance of coming back down towards the daily low at that point. So that could be a potential option. Otherwise, I would not force it. I just wait for it to pull back and see how it reacts to the resistance at the daily high. Oh man, GJ. Happens, guys. Sometimes it happens where charts just move without giving you a confirmation, but there's nothing much we can do about that. Just gotta let it be. There is no limit order as well because it's consolidating. It's not trending. Gold was different. However, gold tapped into target, but prior to it was trending. GJ's come from consolidation. For me, there is no limit order from consolidation, so it's a tough one so far, but all good, nothing lost. I'm in. Can I check UJ? Oh yeah, are we gonna get potential option on GJ still? Where's the margin? I just don't trust the 15 on it. Not like I do on gold. $77 pip stop. Wow. Things are difficult. Even if I really wanted to try and get involved in gold sales here, you're looking at a 77 pip stop. Not ideal. Anyway. It's a shit closure too, to be honest, the 5 minute. Alright, UJ, let's quickly look at UJ. Sorry guys, I I'm not just going to take something for the sake of it. I could easily say yes, buy it or sell it, but it's not me. And some of you appreciate it, some of you don't. And it's up to you guys to, you know, if you want to be here, fantastic. If not, all good. I can understand. UJ looks good for a decent for a sell at the moment. You're bearish in structure. You got a nice strong closure below the support. It's based off the 15 though. Up against what was a strong bullish candle prior to it. So the safer option in this particular scenario will be to wait for the 30-minute closure below for options to sell it. It does look pretty good though to the left below the daily low and also that weekly low. So there could be some potential options below that point there as well. Assuming it's quite bearish, because the dollar has been dropping against everything except for the Australian dollar. It's been flying against that. Don't know why it pisses me off, to be honest. Yeah, it is quite bearish. Yeah, I'd be looking for the sells personally. So I'd be looking for the sells upon continuation below the current day's low and previous and the weekly low, sorry. I'd also be looking for sells upon the pullback, where it did pull back to the current level yet again, otherwise 145.80. And is my personal opinion of UJ. GJ is just dropping like it's hot at the moment. Even if I was to trust in the 15, no upper wick. So once again, sometimes things are just going to move against all your rules, or if you have rules, which I do, it makes it quite difficult. Y2K, buy or sell, nothing at the moment. All time out this week, could, who knows. Trading with Dougie, you're long run out. NQ, okay. Well, it is at a good level to buy it from. You want to start looking for options to buy it from the 4 hour and the high time frame support. But again, it's just in a big downtrend at the moment, so yeah, I'd be waiting for a little bit more, to be honest, to be convinced to buy it. Otherwise I would prefer to sell it. Ali, gold please. Good morning to you. Look, we'll see how this 30 closes. If it rejects, we do close back bearish. 15 bearish engulfing, that could almost provide a signal at London Open. Alright guys, I will be back in probably about a minute or two. Just give us a sec. I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. Ali, all good? Lucas, recession? I think it's probably been it for a while, to be honest. Carl rules keep you profitable. I believe they do. Some, again, don't appreciate because they just want trades left, right, and center. The Loki 30 account make or break it is. It was me once. Literally, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I mentioned the story before on here. Open up like when we had 500 to 1 leverage here and I was back then. Full margin the account. I had no idea I was full margining the account at that point too. This was literally 8 years ago. Would have been, yeah, just over 8 years ago. Shit my pants, literally. Saw the account margin call flash basically, or would have been closed anyway. It was like a $500 account and went to like pretty much negative 200 and something from being triggered in. Popped back blue and I just closed it. Luckily I closed it out in a small profit. I had no idea what I was doing back then. Learned though. Learned to actually learn a little bit more before I just open a trade. Well, gold's pumping at the moment. I could have moved for 3017. Nice one. Jobs, thank you for sharing the live. No name? No, not after one experience I had. So, yeah, I mentioned it heaps of times. Had a 300k account and taken away when I was due a payout. Right when I was due the payout. Taken away. Literally made up a parameter. And then hit me up with, I couldn't even access my terminal. Emailed him about that, no response. Got the 30-day breach, hard breach of not being inactive for 30 days, and it was literally, I was basically due the payout is when this magic parameter popped up saying I was very close to breaching it. And, yeah, queried them about that. Their mistake, they said they'll fix it. Waited for them to fix it, never fixed it. He emailed them again, then they said it's my mistake and I hard breached the account. And I'm, what are you talking about? And nowhere near hard breaching it. They got back to me, no, we do apologize, it's their mistake again, I'll fix it. And in the meantime, could not log in. Messaged him multiple times, emailed him multiple times about it, never got a response. So I hate, or I don't trust prop firms. No, yeah, it was bloody frustrating, believe me. One of my worst experiences in trading, to be honest. When you go through all that effort just to, you know, be able to get your hands on that sort of capital, have it taken away from you so easily, it's just heart-wrenching, to be honest. But there are worse things in life, so just get back up and keep going. Well, it's not anyone's business, to be honest. There's no one near that much. Just put it this way. It's not a huge account. Not gonna lie, it's not. I'm not trading massive lots. It's enough to see decent returns, decent losses if I'm not careful. To it, yeah, of course. 1 to 30 is all we've got here in Oz at the moment. I'm ASIC regulated, so GJ's tapped into support. Again, it made sense, and I understand why it's, you know, tapped into that level and it's bouncing off it. That would have been my target, but I have these rules that protect me, and unfortunately, it was not valid. It was impulsive. This GJ moved to the downside, which I could not find a quality way in. just want this thing to take. I really want it to take. So potential catalyst later with FOMC. Luli, the 1 minute chart, it's too much data printing on a 1 minute chart to worry about the way, in my personal opinion. This is breaking out, man. It's in a big uptrend. That resistance. Not sure if there's something in the news because the majors seem to be all right now moving. Alright, GA. GA is looking quite interesting. Do I even have it here? Alright. Alright, GA could potentially give us an option, guys. It's going to be a massive stop again, but forming bullish, potentially bullish engulfing at support in an uptrend. If this closes bullish engulfing, it's going to close the 30 back bullish. I mean, even if it doesn't, it's still a potential reversal signal. You just need a decent lower wick for there to be a valid entry, in my opinion. So let's just see how this counter closes. Alright, what is the high for current candle? 214.416. Spreads around 2 pips, guys. Wow. Why wide for my liking when I'm used to less than that on gold and GJ, so you'd need to at least leave 2 pip margin up the high. I mean, it's really going crazy, this spread. Yeah, I don't like this rejection either way. It's closing the 15, it's going to close still a weak candle, so based off that, doesn't look like there's going to be an option. We are approaching London Open, guys, so quickly let's do the rounds. Gold above the resistance here to the left, running into more resistance here to the left. I can't find a way in at the moment. GJ coming back down. That support. GA definitely looks the best. But this candle, the way it's rejecting just now, isn't promising because it's a weak bullish candle at support. Perhaps it could begin to break through. There is no confirmation for me right now to sell it though, because we are back above the support. Again, this is the worst possible closure we could have gotten, to be honest. Ah, man. What's a man to do? Just chill, that's all I can do. Majara, because they're very time consuming. Yeah, to be honest, I don't get enough traction with the YouTube stuff. I will continue to push on with it. It doesn't seem to be something, you know, which people are that interested in, to be honest, the recaps. Charts are tough. I did do it last year for quite a while, but they just weren't really gaining any traction, so sort of gave it up. Okay, what I think about gold? Yeah, at the moment it's just too far up. I can't buy it. Try to figure out a way to get in this point here. Couldn't find it. I have quality entry. Now I'm just gonna chill. Not gonna buy it into the 4-hour resistance. It's literally tapped in. So I need to let it create maybe a little bit of structure at resistance, form some minor support, and begin pop below the support. Now potentially could look to sell. The good news is we've created a clean move now to cut through these wicks to the left. So that's no longer an issue. And draw that in gray. And now if we do get a bit of a catalyst, I could potentially look to sell it. So the catalyst may be within the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and this is 911. I think it was you who are asking, no name. Was it no name or 911? One of you asking about what sort of confirmations to look for the sells from resistance, buy from support. So listen in. Seeing we have approached with volume and a strong volume, we're not approaching with weakened short bodied candles suggesting exhaustion, so we're not approaching, for instance, like so. I can't just trade it off the back of one bearish 15 or even off the back of one bearish 30 unless within the 30. So if we were to close like this, what we've done is close with lower high, higher low, or even if we pop up, create the high high, it doesn't really make a difference. But if we were to close like this, I'm not going to sell unless within it I've got some sort of catalyst. Now that catalyst could be if this first 15-minute candle closes strong bearish, like so. Only to be followed by, remembering we've tapped into a 4-hour resistance here, so potential level price could reject. Only to be followed by the following candle to close weak bullish. What we have just done is form some minor support just below the resistance here. By the end of those two candles, the 30-minute will look a little bit like this. So we do have that kind of confirmation of the 30-minute resistance. Within it, we've got a weak pause, so weak support forming below the resistance. Based off that, I know with the clean traffic to the left, and we've not retested the most recent resistance we have broken, so long as we create an upper wick, if we were to break that minor support, the probabilities would be higher for price to come back down to retest 30.22. So if we were to break it now, if we were to respect that level, then what we could do is just continue to the upside. So that is something I could potentially look at. So that is one potential catalyst. So I need to wait though. I need to wait for some sort of strong confirmation, because again, the volume to the upside is quite strong at the moment. Has GJ looked decent at all for like the past 2 weeks on stream? I don't think it has. It's been the whole time just consulting. Gold could push through still, all good. What a move. I'm just shitty because silver's flying too, and I don't want it to. I want it to go down. I want it to both go down, personally. No one? Yeah, I thought, yep, that's right. Joseph, when be ready to sell? Need a catalyst, there's nothing just yet. I think it's all the new followers. Will the M15 chart be better for this situation? For the support, yes, but not for one, based off one single 15-minute bearish candle. Up against the volume to the upside, that's not enough for me. If that was to be the case and something you trust, what you probably then need to do is go to a 5-minute and see if you got the support, minus support below the resistance, and look for possible entries. The only level you've so far got the minus support below the resistance is here on the 5-minute. That's all good. I don't stress it, guys. Where was it yesterday? The members, we literally just missed being tagged in. It was right there, I think, the limit order at that candle's high on this candle pulling back, and it literally popped straight up to like 30 pip profit or something. All part of the game. The EU, well, the euro will be the strongest of all the majors at the moment by the looks of things. EU's been very strong of late. It's been big, strong uptrend. There's a fair bit of volatility though from what it looks like. EU's trying to pop up. Let's have a look at GA again. There we go, rejecting. That's what I mentioned before. If it closed weak bullish, it could just be another pause in price action and it could potentially continue down. The sip of water made me thirsty. Clearly. It's actually a cold coffee, to be honest. Ali update gold, please. Looking for at this rate. It's gonna be difficult buying it after such a big push. I'd rather just patiently wait for the sells, and I mentioned what I was looking for about 2 minutes ago. So I need some sort of price action catalyst before I can sell it. That's quite simply what I'm waiting for. Or otherwise the pullback to buy it lower down. All good, all good.
Hey, good morning, man.
How are you, brother? How's things?
A little bit tired,
Yeah,
but I'm okay. And you?
likewise. Yeah, all good, mate. Just a little bit tired. Had a long day, so all good otherwise. But charts are being a little bit tricky yet again.
Yeah, so difficult. So GU, I'm waiting to get above resistance at 180, 128, and then below support. So,
Yep.
and then taking sells or buys in this range.
Yeah, I think that's
So we need to be
the best thing.
patient for that.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do right now.
Because so trading within this range, I think makes difficult, as we can see right now. So even it's pushed further the support and then comes down again. So it's,
Yeah.
you need to wait to close above or
Yeah, I agree.
below.
Yep, just a matter of patience. Majara, I did read your message, mate. You may have missed it. I don't know. No, you may have popped out for a second. I did mention it because they are very time consuming, and from previous interactions with it, I think there weren't many. So that's why I stopped doing the weekly recap videos. I may pick it up again, but I did answer your question. So I don't ignore you guys. I answered it. Maybe you missed it. Yeah, I agree, Franco. That's just difficult. The current level price action is really difficult. Just need to either above or below at this rate.
And GJ is moving like shit, so up and
Yeah.
down, up and down. So
Exactly. Very difficult.
no clear direction, so it's very dangerous.
Yep. Yeah, so everything has to be impulsive at the moment, and it's not my strength. Wow, God. Not sure what is pushing this at the moment, but is there any news?
I think the issue what you mentioned, the strongness of EU,
Alright, hold on
is
this.
because of the tariffs
Yep.
which will be implemented today.
It has to be about this. China releases white paper on US trade and economic relations. All right, so it definitely is to do with that. There's something which is pushing this market at the moment, in my opinion, and it looks to be that. We've also got NAS popping, so tech stocks look to be on the move. Bitcoin also pushing a little bit. Yeah, it's a tough one. Majara 7, all good, mate, all good. So Loki Geo broke through. Dodged in there. Bet today, hello. Okay, nice one, mate. Thank you for clarifying that. Welcome to you. Yeah, GA is, I mean, bearish engulfing would be nice, but there is no margin. Very tricky one at the moment. GJ is all over the place. It's up, down, everywhere, left, right, and center.
Geo also coming down.
Oh, wow. You need a decent upper week, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not for
Not in the 15.
and 50 is not the right time frame right now.
Yeah, I agree. 30 will be better. Hello and good day to you, partner. I hope you're well. Screw it, gold going still up. It is. Mark, some people are using TraderView, which is great, but who are you using for trading, partner, to buy? I.C.T. I hope it isn't. Yeah, alright, so far it's alright. I.C.T. and you can figure out the rest. It's pretty easy. All good, Mark, all good. Reputable broker, I feel. I've never really had issues with them. Only once, but that wasn't major. I just wouldn't honor a trade because their terminal froze. Mine didn't. Well, the actual the TradingView terminal did. The sorry, MetaTrade, but not the TradingView. And they claimed it was an error with my internet. That was about 3 years ago. That was a cracking trade too. Wow, that was all Swiss. It popped. I was in a buy, literally jumped into, I'm not joking, about 30-40 profit in a second. If some of the old crew would remember it. And I just pressed my terminal, my MetaTrader froze, so I just pressed close, thinking, well, hopefully by the time it unfreezes, it's secured the bag, it secured at 6 pips where it froze at, and I was pissed off about it. I actually videoed it and everything, but it was something on my behalf. Sorry, mate.
Was this the flash crash?
No, this is I don't know, about 3 years ago on Doll Swiss.
Yeah, there was a Swiss which was pushed down. I don't know.
No, it was a buy on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
That was a buy. It was a cracking move. There wasn't even news about it. It just popped. Literally popped up about 30 pips. Which is quite unusual for Dollar Swiss, to be honest. It's usually a slower moving major. Sent them the video footage of it and everything, and they still won't honor it. Alright, GA. Next level of support we've got. Let's 30, 15, it lines up. Alright. It's really starting to rock. Actually, 15's a little bit lower down.
I think also some GJ cells come into play, huh? So it's on the M30, nice rejection.
Yeah, the only thing with GJ, it's
there. Ah, okay.
there's a 4-hour support.
Which is long time ago.
Oh, it's from last September, but I mean, it is still there.
I didn't find it in this quickly, so okay.
So I can understand it. It could be, again, worth an entry below the low. But you're just going to be wary of it. You still got this wick, 185.70 to clear as well. Matisse, good day to you. Hope you're well, and likewise to you. Have goal reaching the FIBO level, reacting to it, which is what I was expecting. Nice one. That's good. Okay, following your plan, that's the main thing. So who knows, if this 15 closes strong bearish, there still could be some sell options on gold, potential reversal entry. John, boss man, I'm from Malawi. Really know how Forex trading works. Fantastic. So we pushed up deep into the 4-hour resistance. Oh man, GA is melting. Sitting in the bed at the moment. Kelvin, the greatest time frame. Gold is generally 15 for the most part. It does require though a 30-minute confirmation as well. A lot of occasions, especially this particular occasion. So you can use the 15 and 30. Within the 30, the 15 to add confidence. If we flip and close back bearish, there could be options to sell it. Again, stop loss is going to be the main issue. So again, it will come down to how the next candle opens, creates a bit of an upper wick, rejects, pops up a decent amount, and we can trust it to use as a stop loss. I want to pop up 5-10 pips and then just flip, because gold can easily trigger you in and pop straight back up, 5-10 pips, take you out. So it's just 20 minutes into London Open, still quite a lot of volume about. It's all good. Now, GA potential buy level is now becomes back above the most recent resistance. So 214.352 is where we want candles to start approaching and preferably close above. To me, GJ. Yeah, it's at support. It's at 4-hour support. If you really want to look for GJ entries, I mean, it doesn't look bad on the 30, but I want it to close below minimum this wick here, 185.725. About EJ. It would have been better if it was below that support, to be honest, in regards to price action for a sell. If this candle actually closed below that horizontal, weak bullish, then I think it could be a decent early sell option. Seeing it has rejected the daily high, the resistance at that level, take it back down towards the daily low. I'm assuming it's quite bearish. Could be wrong though. Guys, apologies if you need background noise. I'm just going to mute up for a sec, guys. Apologies. There's nothing at the moment. John, good day to you. Alright guys, yeah, so EJ, back to EJ, it would be fantastic if it closed below the support for entries, below 160.272, and closes above the resistance here at 160.898 would be nice for the buy options. 30-minute, you could argue it is actually bullish. It's a bit difficult to buy just now because you have tapped into a target after retesting the support, but yeah, I'd be looking for the buys above the resistance and sells below it, personally. Back to GJ, still above support. Back to gold, we want it to close back bearish, and that would perhaps give us enough. On the flip side, are there going to be options to buy if this closes weak bearish to retest the high? It would be risky because you're buying it into the 4-hour resistance. With the 15, has it tapped in? Oh, so close to tapping into target. It's not ideal, in all honesty. It needs to close for that to be considered. Way around. Needs to close preferably bearish, first of all. Confirm a little bit of minor resistance, and needs to close above. Literally where it's at right now. Absolutely. It's very good thing to keep hydrated. On the charts, you don't want to lose focus. It means you have to get up a fair few times though to make sure you don't wet yourself, but it's all good. Just don't be like those gamers that don't eat and, you know, get to eat and end up bloody dying playing the game. Feel good to you, mate.
Good day. How you doing?
All good, bro. All good. What's going on? What's going on today?
Nothing much.
Mm.
The chats are still a mess,
Yeah.
so nothing really to do.
Very volatile.
EJ is just backloading. Then EU seems to make all its moves before I get on the chat. So
Yeah. There's a bit of strength in AU at the minute, while the other majors seem to be rejecting a little bit. It's very, very difficult. GA. Yeah, that, look at that. It's entry point analysis correct. Unfortunately, no real quality. Well, there's no entry because there's no margin below. Could have bounced into that. However, GU, I don't know if Franco, if you're looking at it, GU actually could be quite a decent option to sell.
Yeah, I'm observing it.
Yeah, if it closes weak bullish.
Yeah.
hi Franco,
Hi Phil, how are you?
doing alright? How about you?
Yeah, I was a little bit tired, but right now I'm in shape.
Oh, nice to hear. This week has been crazy on the charts. The market's just moving like, I don't know. Haven't.
Yeah,
How is it? How have it been for you? Have you had anything so far this week?
yesterday I had a win and a loss. So it's
Oh.
for me it's also very difficult to get in because of the majors. They are the range, the daily range is more or less doubled, and that means so the normal range which I have on GU is 10 pips normally, is then 20 pips for moving, so it's moving very fast right now, GU and also EU, so this is a little bit strange and you have to adapt to this situation. And yeah, I think it's going too much things going on in the market. It makes very difficult. That means we need to have more patience. As we already have, we need to have more patience, I think, to find the right entries.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's been, I haven't taken a trade.
It's just crazy. I had a few trades on a Monday, and then since then everything has been. And one of the things is now I cannot take the kind of trades that I used to take before unless I'm going to sit there to watch it because it's moving very fast. So you have to be there to manage it, otherwise you can move into 30 pips and back to getting stopped out in a very short time. You have to be careful with entries this time.
Just quickly, guys, I may have the confirmation to take a cheeky little buy. Maybe not. Forget it. Close back below. Simple. Simple. Was lining up. And this is gold. This is what I've done all week. All week long.
That was fast.
It did it before, man. It did it before. I was looking for buys here. This 15-minute candle looked like it was going to close above. And within the last 30 seconds, while I was looking to set up the order, or to get it ready in order to, to press open trade with my EA, it literally pulled back in the last few seconds below. So gold. It's done it all week. Yeah, it's just me following rules, so that worked strictly for me. All right, GJ, it's at for our support. Sorry, GU, what happened?
GU's no, not really an entry for me.
Oh, if it look, I'm not sure. Did it pop up and create an upper wick to begin?
No, it's popped down first.
All right, so not bad because it's rejected. It's tapped into the support above to reject. Based off pure price action, it's not a bad option. I personally believe.
But for me, the
Needs more of an
stop
upper
loss
wick.
is too high. So
Yeah,
if you look on the M50, it's 90 pips stop loss. No, I don't like it.
Okay, pure
Even
price
this
action is not
pushing
bad though.
down. Yeah, you're right. That's right.
If it
Because
pulled
we
back,
break liquidity and we could push down right now.
yeah, if it does pull back and you can get a decent 1-to-1 based off the entry candle, it's not a bad option. I think.
That would be better for me. Absolutely. So if you can create an upper wick right now,
Yep.
then maybe it broke again its own high, then maybe it's another story.
Yeah, because we've got to look at it on the 30 perspective here. The 30 is the higher time frame, so it has stronger stance on things, in my opinion. So the 30 is just close to strong bearish engulfing below support without it really forming an upper wick at the open. That's what it needs to do. Pull back to create the upper wick, and then potentially look for the entry below the low in this circumstance. 15, not a bad, suggest not a bad impulse entry, as long as it had a tiny upper wick and continue down. But the 30, the high time frame picture, is what you have to look to for the stronger confirmation, and you have to treat with the most importance, in my opinion. The higher the time frame, again, has more meaning on the charts, the confirmation. So I think it. What would stop loss be just now? Probably not.
6 pips? No,
Yeah, not that bad.
8 pips. Yeah, not bad. Maybe I'm looking on the 5-minute time frame.
Yeah, 5 minute looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, makes sense to get in. Yeah, maybe I would give it a try.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. What's EU also heading down a bit?
Yeah, I'm in. 2.5 pips, 4 pips.
Oh wow, this thing is moving.
Yeah. Checked in. Yeah, on the round numbers, we are at the round number right now.
Yep, yeah, 100 level.
Yeah,
That's on GU.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's on GU.
look at that, pushing that really nicely.
Come on, 5 pips, come on. Yeah, 5 pips. Out.
There's your 1-to-1. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with that.
The 1-to-1. Wow, this looks good. This looks really good. Again, it's pure price action. Pure price action, guys. Nothing much more. Still waiting for the confirmation below.
So yeah, the 5 minutes time frame right now was very good to get entries right now. So for sure, looking on the M30 time frame.
Yeah, the M30 is the best one for me.
Yeah. No, it's clear. This was the confirmation at the end. But right now, if you look on the M5 time frame.
Yep, what do we got there? That is perfect for what we call a zone-to-zone entry. That's the 5-minute confirmation within the catalyst candle. That's why we don't need to pull back on the new M30 to retest again. We've already done it.
Correct.
Within the 30-minute. This is one a lot of guys who like start like fresh with love, and yeah, like it plays out so often. That coupled with this candle popping down a bit prior to popping back up, again, it just screams a sell if it is to break its own low again. it's a trade I would take every single day of the week on gold or GJ. So good to see it happen. Good to see it play out. Well done. Again, for education. And a trade if anyone was willing to follow. Timing points to you, yeah. Bit all over the shop. GJ bouncing off the 4-hour support. So it is still relevant. It could be a while back, but it is a level to be wary of. Disco, no, I'm not shorting. Hello? Thunder? Thunder? Could be. Is Marley official? What's going on? Gold? Still in a pretty strong move to the upside at the moment. Could be flipping structure shortly in the M30 as well. Maybe even on the 4-hour. Let's keep an eye on 15. Yeah, nice call on GU. Franco, well done, mate. Good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Use it. It's okay to sell gold. Not just yet. Still don't have any 30-minute confirmation against what has been a pretty strong move up. It could there be options to buy it, just depends how this 15 closes. No impulse entries, that was ruled out. By the way, this candle ended up closing. Wow, look at this thing. We've got just under 5 minutes remaining. See how this candle closes above. Could be options potentially for buyers on gold.
Did GJ touch the H4 support?
Yeah, and bounced off.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's really good to have that level marked in because we see what's happening to it just now. And again, hence why I wasn't interested in selling it below the daily low. Always need to zoom out and just see what's to the left. I mean, gold is at a 4-hour resistance. Yeah, definitely. Do have some clean traffic here to the left though. Nice one for it. Regan, USD. I had to look at it before, man. I'm not going to spend too much time. I'll just quickly look at it again, see what's going on. Okay, it's above. Same as gold at the moment. Closure above on this 15, and buys look good. High, the current candle 30.47.57. $66 pip stop loss. How's that? It's not even, it doesn't even look like much of a candle. Yeah, once you account for spread, you're looking at 66 pips. On my broker anyway. Yeah, spot 66 pips. Alright, needs to close above and needs decent lower wick on the new candle. Again, simple rules to follow. It's what we want to see. And GJ doing popping back above 186 flat. Strong rejection of the flyer, support to the left. GA potentially forming weak bullish. We just don't have a lower wick in the previous 30 or the current 15. So just keep an eye on gold. Appreciate all the new followers. Thank you, everyone. Limit orders are extremely risky as well at the moment. We are trading though, but I mean, 10 pips on this looks like it's literally, and it looks like nothing. That's pretty much where we're at. It's popping up a bit now. All right, it could almost be valid limit order now because we are pushing. I want to confirm though. Wait for this candle to close. Potentially looking at limit order back alive that bearish candle. Again, risky, stop loss is going to be wide. Otherwise, I'm just going to look for the continuation. Low wick, entries at breaks. Oh man, it's doing it again. Back at the last second. This is not easy at all. Definitely no limit order. Definitely no limit orders. Valid. No, there's no. Gold is playing with me today. Honestly, it is. It's literally in the last second, pop back down. It's closed below that level I wanted it to close above. All good. All good. Markets are amusing today. Not for everyone, but for me they are. Not taking on any trades, not in drawdown, no nothing. Just ain't easy. That's all. It's the second time. It's the third time, sorry. Third time it's done it in this stream. Lining up an entry. The last second it goes the opposite way. All you can do is have a giggle. Not much more. There's no point getting shitty about. GJ. Nice closure above. Back in consolidation. Beauty is there's always another session, guys. There's always more opportunities. So for me, that means there is going to potentially be options moving forward into MY. I mean, let's see. Ips, not a bad level to get involved. Down to 30.10. Yeah, fair distance to get back down there. Could still do it though. Radium, what's it doing? Is it doing the same thing as gold? Yeah, US30 looks good for a buy limit. Also looks good for continuation buys. US30 looks better than gold. This is what I wanted gold to do, to be honest. With the first potential entry back at the high of that bearish candle, and the second entry above the high of the catalyst candle. Created a decent low wick now, so US30 looks pretty good, to be honest. Gold, on the other hand, is playing around at the moment. So, Roy, good day to you. Now it really needs to close. So if I was to remove that zone now, the gray zone, it has to close very strong below this blue zone. What I'm going to do is just add in a horizontal here. And that's when we're back below the resistance to the left. Otherwise we're still within it. So really what I would love to see to make me feel comfortable and confident that the sales will play out is the closure right at least around the low, the resistance, preferably back below it. Upper wick, and that would be good enough. The buys, the last potential option would be if this closes above that bearish high, open. Remove that. It's going to flip and make the move now. That's going to be game over if that's the case. Let's have a look. US30, is it making a move? Gold is likely. US30, no, still hasn't. As NQ is what I looked at before. So yeah, NQ looks pretty good as well. I'd be waiting 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Is that also going to be the hourly close? No. Different timing for futures. Candles on futures, so that's the main difference. One main difference. Sketchmas, the one right now or the last one? The last one. Where are we? Let me find it. Alright, post it. I'll paste it into the chat. I like Gold just playing it literally is playing
Just a
hard to get. Yeah, mate.
question to GJ. So looking on the M50 time frame, so could be some entry for buys when the current candle closes week bearish. I mean the M30
M30 looks terrible.
Yeah.
That's the thing. M30 looks horrible. Plus, you don't have a confirmation yet on the 30 after a pretty decent sell-off.
Yeah.
It's tough
That's
to
also
ignore the
my
30.
point. Yeah.
It's really tough to ignore the 30-minute, to be honest. I see what you mean though. And the 15 does look better. TikTok, you guys think it's a sell? Oh, Sketchum's all good, man. Nice one. Yeah, it's in the audio library on YouTube. And Gold is just all over the place in a minute. It says 30.12. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's a decent idea. Fair way to go though, to get back down to what was the most recent support. But if that's your plan, I totally understand it. I mean, it's very tricky at the moment. 30, I mean, it looks like we're potentially exhausting at the moment. Which makes sense, we are at a flyer resistance. Come back with Sanuk. Still Gold now, but we will probably just go bullish all day and whatever. I mean, that's something Gold could do easy. US 30. What's it doing now? Pushing back down, so. And if you are on a limit order, you're at entry. Still wouldn't be true here on continuations. Push back quite significantly as well now, so. Only 4 minutes left of this candle, you're probably best to wait and see how it closes. If it closes weak bearish, then buy stops will be a decent option. And then gold's gonna give us a move up. I prefer to look for the, honestly, for the sells from this level, just purely of where we're at, even though it's trending strong bullish. Again, I need a strong, really strong sell-off in the next 3.5 minutes if that is to present. Oh. Could do it. Don't take guest requests, guys. Apologies, but I can't afford to because I'm on my last warning on TikTok. So if you guys can't find me, I am on YouTube. Same time. GU. Stefan. Pop back up. I'd still prefer to sells, but again, risk the waters. Not that I really care too much about it, but it wouldn't really make sense to go in with a 25-30 pip stop when you've got literally about 12 pips to target below the current candle's low. If this closed bearish engulfing or close to it, I mean, if closed like so, it's a pretty strong confirmation to sell it. Don't forget you got the hourly closing. So, I mean, the hourly looks better if you were just to trade it based off the hourly. Wait for it to create a decent upper wick and you have a bit of a wider target. But yeah, I just don't see the buys currently. I'd rather buy it from lower down.
EU looks better for sales.
Yeah, it does. Definitely. Nice strong closure by the looks of it. Yeah, we don't want to pop up much. It really wants to close near the low. Upper wick, and then there is, I see potential for some sells on EU.
Right now, I see that the dollar is coming up.
Strength in the
dollar.
dollar, okay. Let's keep an eye on gold, guys. Coming close to the closure of this candle. We wanted to really push just now. We wanted to close well below this blue zone. Preference is for it to close below this horizontal. Okay, potentially. Then we need an upper wick. Definitely need an upper wick because stop loss is going to be over 80 pips by the looks of it. So it's just not an option. We need a discount to leave a lower wick, and the lot is where you look for the entry and watch this thing pop straight back up as I'm lining it up again, just like it has done 3 other times so far today. Man, oh man. Doesn't like me today, gold. That's the open of the new alley. The alley's closed extremely strong. Oh, actually, not that strong. We need an upper wick. Especially because it's the open of the alley. The alley suggests that maybe we're exhausting a little bit. We still need an upper wick. If I was to remove the drawings, pull back, create an upper wick, break its own low, break the low of that previous 15/30, and then potentially has to create a decent upper wick so we can use it as a stop loss. All right, it's tapped into that zone just now. Let's just measure this. All right, this is better. So I'm going to look to set a sell below the low of the previous candle. Stop loss will be just give it a little bit of breathing room above the current candle. Oh, okay, because the TP is above the. It's not very smart. All right, so I've set an entry at 30.39.43. Currently, I've got a stop loss at 30.42.81, so that's about 34 pips, 33.8. Really should have it probably back above that support, but anyway, that's what I'm currently looking at.
Yeah, we need to be quick.
Yeah, and that's the thing, be quick, and I will be quick to manage it, because it is, again, using the current candles as the stop loss, it's very risky. I would not be greedy, because it's trending very strong bullish, so I'd just rather secure some profit if it gets triggered in, and not be too greedy. If it pulls back too far, I'm just not going to bother with it. Paul kind of I can't send links, my friend, unfortunately, but just look it up. It's the same profile name as TikTok. I am, but I only trade one session a day, so and I do have other interests, other business. So not in yet. And be quick, guys. So don't be greedy. Be quick to manage it, even if it goes against us too. Because gold is on another level at the moment. All right. Oof. Not quite in. Hopefully, don't get slipped. All right, I'm in. Oof. There we go, guys. There's 10 pips.
10 pips, I'm out.
Well, in and out within seconds. Well, I'm still in this. I haven't secured nothing, but yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not trusting it. I'm just taking it. I'm just gonna secure it. I don't know what I got in the end. I think I would have got about probably 7 or 8. Because it's against what was very, very strong bullish prior to it. But that's quick. That's really quick stuff. I hope you guys didn't get slipped. But like I said, man, I can't even get that off in time. That was the quickest 10 pips you probably ever get, in all honesty. Very difficult to manage unless you've got a toolkit, which I've got and had. So this makes it a lot easier. All you have to do is close. So that was the quickest win you'll probably see. But like I said on gold, don't be silly with it. Don't be greedy, because it can just flip straight back like it's doing. So
I was 36 seconds in.
Yep. That was quick. Wow. Anyone actually managed to secure something, guys? That was difficult. I'm not gonna lie, that was really difficult. So I closed it. I wasn't gonna muck around with it. I don't even think I got 10 yen. I think it popped up. I know I definitely secured in profit. It was in blue, which is good. But it did drop to about, what did it drop to in the end? Yeah, 11 pips. So not huge, but still enough to at least secure something. So that's another win. That's, I think, number 12 in a row on stream. Man, it definitely helps having an EA toolkit to manage the trades. Otherwise, I would have got rolled, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's a quick one on gold. Look, if you're still holding it, I wouldn't want it to pop above that previous support. I would not be feeling good about it all if it did pop above that point there. So that's the way I manage it. I mean, if it broke its own high now, I wouldn't like it as well. And if you're not in it, still could be some entries below the low, because again, it's just the hourly still fresh, the new hourly. If it was to break its own low again, likely we're going to make a deeper push into the range below. So yeah, so well done if anyone managed to secure some quick profits. Let me pick if you're using Walnut, that's $100. Is it worth it's to risk? Look, it all depends on every individual and their circumstances and what they're willing to risk per trade and things like that. Ali? Yeah, no, I understand. It's look, it's all depending on personal preference and that type of thing. Once again, it's just the way I go with things. I manage my losses in drawdown as well. I also know with my win rate, I'm likely going to be on the end of a win rather than a loss. So again, that's just the way I go.
Yeah, and maybe Justin, if you look on GJ, so that's also good to see. It's good not to take this wave.
It's tapped into the 30-minute and rejected.
Yeah,
that's what my concern was. What a cracking quick entry on gold. Well done. Not sure if anyone on YouTube managed to get it. Would have been tough. Would have definitely been tough. But for me now, moving forward on gold, I just need to let it reset. I'd be really struggling to buy it above the high because of the fact of the 4-hour level. I think it'd be quite a risk. What I prefer is the pullback, in all honesty. Waiting for the option to buy it lower down. It doesn't necessarily need to pull back down to 3022. It'd be nice if it did. But seeing we are trending, it could just pull back to create the higher low and then potentially form support to take back up. So that's what I'd be looking at on gold. And GJ is just an absolute mess. It's horrible. It's really horrible. Below 185.30, cleaner, above 187, 160. Otherwise, look for price to pop up, reject, make a clean move to cut through the mess to the left, and then look for an option to sell it. Otherwise, approach the high, reject, pop back above. That's the option to buy it. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Well done if anyone managed to get to grab their 10 plus pips on gold. Really quick entry. Otherwise, stop, guys. Just don't stress it. Reassess, come up with a new plan moving forward, and see how things go. So it's a nice one. Quick 10 pips and break even for the rest. Hatsune, I was in a quick sell. Not now. You missed the boat. To be honest, I'm not interested in buying it. The stop loss was just, it was about 30 pips, just above 30 pips based off the entry candle. It was a bit above it. Alright guys, so that's it. The winning streak continues. We go again tomorrow. With well, for my team, I'll go again a bit later. So let's see what we can come up with for pre-MI. So Franco might catch you on that call.
Maybe not. So maybe.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No need to force it.
In 2.5 hours, more or less, right?
Roughly, yeah. 2.5, 3 hours from now.
Yeah. I will see.
No problem, mate. No problem. Well done today. Anyway, you've had a good day. So
It was an absolutely good day.
nice one, brother. You take it easy.
Thank you.
See you, mate. Bye. YouTube, you guys, appreciate you for joining. Well done if anyone managed to secure some profit there. Tough one, really tough one. Way it quickly popped back. And yeah, TikTok. Thank you to all new followers. Thank you to everyone who got involved. Keep the chat flowing. Appreciate it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Do trade safe. FOMC day, big day ahead for the charts. Obviously, with FOMC, so things could be nasty. Don't stress. Don't force it. Set the plan, create the rules, and stick to it. Trade safe, guys. Take care. Leaky M, Kim. No, I took some profit, mate. The runner got taken out. Well, actually, to be honest, I just pressed close full, but the runner would have been taken out had anyone kept one. So yeah, just a small win, but win's a win. And that's it. Take care, guys. Trade safe. Catch you guys tomorrow. All the best. Bye, guys.